Seafood Sunday. We're going to make a seafood fried rice. We're going to be using shrimp and something called poor man's lobster. What is poor man's lobster? It's real simple. You take some white fish like cod, cut it 2-inch long slices, throw it in boiling water, some sugar, some salt, lemon, change the entire texture of the fish. Tastes like lobster. That's what I'm told. We're going to find out. We're going to fry up some shrimp, and then we're going to fry up our rice using oyster sauce, soy sauce, sesame oil, and all that good stuff. Let me go ahead and get this cod. This is just regular cod. Let me go ahead and get this cut up, get that water boiling, and we're going to go with it. Poor man's lobster. Whitefish. Any type of whitefish. I'm using cod. Bought it frozen, let it thaw it out. And slice this into 1.5 to 2-inch thick pieces. Throw in a pot of really hot boiling water. It'll sink to the bottom. When it's done, it'll float to the top. That's when you want to pull it out. In that water, I'm going to be using a cup of sugar, some salt, some pepper, all that good stuff right there. Got it already ready. And I'm going to cut up a lemon. Squeeze lemon juice in the water and throw the rest in there. Let me go ahead and get the slicing up on this cod and we'll get started. Start the water too. Alright, I got the biggest pot in the house for this because what's going to happen is when you start boiling this fish, it's going to want to bubble over. So you want the biggest pot you can find. You want to fill it up about halfway with water. We're going to go ahead, dump in our sugar, our salt, our pepper, put that in there. A little bit of spice. Do some Creole seasoning too. Gonna give that a stir. So I gotta find my spoon. Gonna let that dissolve. We're gonna bring this up to a rolling boil. Yeah, a rolling boil. Give that a stir. Squeeze out the lemons. Drop it in there. The other lemon. Squeeze that out. Drop that in there. I'm going to bring that to a boil. I already sliced up my 3 pieces of cod. It's about the thickness you're looking for. When we drop it in there, we are not going to stir it. So get all the stirring out of the way now. Let me bring this up to a boil, and we'll come right back. Okay, there's our rolling boil. By the way, guys, I want to give a shout out to my buddy Mark Reed. He owns BFF Creations and Engravings. Let me flash his business card right there. Can you all see that? BFF Creations and Engravings. I'll be posting a link. I'll have all the information on this video before the title screen. He makes great things. You guys should check him out. We're going to go ahead. Our water's ready. We're going to drop our fish in. Careful, don't burn yourself. It's going to sink to the bottom. And when it starts floating to the top consistently, not up and down, that is when it's ready to be pulled out. Do not stir this at all. You don't want these to break apart. And I said don't burn yourself. What did I do? Stuck my finger in the water. As you can see, the water stopped boiling. It's because it cooled down. It'll come back to a boil. Anybody that likes lobster should try this recipe out. Don't really see too many of it on YouTube. I mean, they do have it, they're like years old. So I figured what the hell, I'd make one. Get it a little bit more updated. We're going to let that come back up to a boil. Once that fish starts floating to the top, we're going to pull it out. I turned the heat down because I wanted to see which pieces are actually coming to the top, and as you can see, they're all starting to float to the top now. So we're going to go ahead and start pulling out some of these pieces that floated to the top. Try not to break them. Now, I know I'm missing some. Some people recommend using frozen. I probably should have done that. Wouldn't broke as much. Oops, lesson learned. So I think I got them all out. Most people season this, dip it in some butter, but I got our plans for this. I'm going to actually use this in fried rice. So, hope you enjoyed the episode of how to make poor man's lobster. Showed you guys how to make poor man's lobster. It's quick, it's simple. I ain't never made it, I ain't never had it, so we'll find out exactly what it tastes like. Most people dip it in butter and stuff like that, but I got other plans. I'm going to start frying up my shrimp now, and we're going to move on to the fried rice. So bear with me. Alright, we're getting ready to fry up our shrimp. I got the wok heating up now. We're going to throw in some olive oil, stick of butter. We're going to go ahead and fry the shrimp. Basically, they're going to turn into little C's. They're going to go from opaque coloring to a pinkish coloring. That's how you know they're done. It should only take a couple minutes, 2 to 3 minutes on each side maybe. Who knows? Let's find out. Alright, our wok's preheated. We're going to throw in some butter. Woo! Hit that with some olive oil so it doesn't burn. Create a lot of smoke there. Ooh, doggy. Gotta turn that heat down a little bit. Ooh, yep, accidents happen. Throw in some shrimp. Maybe the wok was a little too hot. Gonna keep stirring it. Yeah, I think that wok was a little too hot. Lessons learned. As you can see, it's starting to change colors. Gonna even this out a little bit. Dump in some soy sauce. Crack a window before the smoke detector goes off. Good thing I'm not a professional. I would have been fired already. this with a little bit of Cajun seasoning, Creole seasoning. And that's it for the rice. We're going to pull it out. Should already had a plate ready, but I didn't. Might have cooked it a little too long. That's okay. I'm cooking for me, not for you. We're going to leave that alone. You can use pre-cooked shrimp if you want. I would probably suggest using that. But if you don't want to, this is how you cook it, kinda. If you're using a wok, I don't recommend using a high setting because we just saw what happened there. Boy, did that get hot real fast. I'm surprised the neighbor didn't call the fire department. Alright, on to the fried rice. I don't know. Okay, time to start on the fried rice. Liz just asked me what color couches we want. I don't know. I don't care. She's the interior decorator. I'm the cook. Almost caught the house on fire. You guys see that? Okay, in the fried rice, 1 green pepper, 1 white onion, 1 shallot. We're going to do some sliced mushrooms. 2 teaspoons minced garlic. It might be 1 heaping kitchen teaspoon. I don't know, depending on how garlic I want it. Frozen vegetables, peas and carrots are in the freezer, so I'm trying to be a little lazy today. You're gonna use a soy sauce, some sesame oil, some oyster sauce. We're also going to be throwing in 2 eggs. Let me get these vegetables sliced up. We'll get back to experimental cooking. Should have just called it a Chinese place. Okay, what did we learn today? Don't use the high setting when working with a wok. Let's try this again. Got it down to a medium low. And that might be too low. We'll go up a little higher. Add some more olive oil. Yeah, it might have been too low. We'll go up to medium. Unless my burner's just completely shot. That would really suck too. We're going to start with our mixed vegetables. Well, our peas and carrots. I'm going to throw that shit in there. Entire bag, I guess. A little bag. Dogs are starting to act up and be bad. Give that a stir, get everything coated. Get down, Tyson. Let this start to heat up. We're going to throw in a little bit of soy sauce in this. Add a little bit of soy sauce. So a little bit of everything. This way it's less soy sauce you got to add at the very end. Alright, you're starting to thaw out now, so what we're going to do, I'm going to make a little space. Little space. Can you see this? Yeah, little space. Add as much as you want or as little as you want. Me and Liz both like garlic, so we're going to go there. That much. We're going to let that cook a little bit, 30 seconds, 45 seconds, something like that, until it starts to become like fragrant. swear. Alright, let's mix this around. Start tossing in our vegetables. You can just make this your own. You don't have to really do everything I do. Add everything I add. I just like a lot of stuff. And I always overcook. Always overcook. Green peppers, onions, shallots. It's all going in. Give that a quick stir. Get all this stuff to start cooking down, and I'll be right back with you. Alright, our veggies are about right there. I don't want them completely cooked. I want a little bit of crunch. We're going to go ahead and add some of our ricey rice now. Ricey rice, ricey rice. Pre-cooked the rice last night. Let it sit overnight in the fridge. This way it would stiffen up. You don't really want to try and make fried rice with fresh cooked rice because it's too soft. Apparently this is too stiff. Alright, let me heat this up, start breaking this down. We got our rice mixture broken down pretty good. We're going to throw in a tablespoon and a half of butter. Most people cook their eggs first. I don't really want to do that because I want to incorporate the egg throughout all of it. So we're going to create a little hole. You got to be real careful. You got to be on top of this. Drop in our butter. Really isn't working out the way I want it to. Yeah, when I envisioned me doing this, I thought it would go a hell of a lot better. One egg. Two eggs. And we mix. Some soy sauce. About a quarter cup. Give it some coloring. I looked for dark soy sauce, I couldn't find it, so I'm just using regular soy sauce. Give it a quick stir. You can see it's starting to get that brownish color. Little bit of sesame seed oil. They say not to use a lot because it goes a long way. So we're going to do about a teaspoon. And some oyster flavor sauce. About a half a teaspoon. Oh yeah, I can smell that sesame oil. Soy sauce. It's low sodium, so it'll be good for us. We're going to toss our shrimp back in. And our poor-man's lobster. A little splash Creole seasoning. Mix that around. And I would suggest not to follow this recipe, because it is clear when it comes to this stuff I should just leave it to the Orientals, because I have no clue what I'm doing. Good thing I got pizza in the fridge. And get a little taste. I'm gonna get my Invisaligns out first. Well, it really doesn't taste bad. You really taste that sesame oil though. They weren't kidding when they said a little goes a long way. Alright, there you have it. Seafood fried rice. What we learned today. Phil's not really good at making Asian food. Almost burnt the house down. Realized batteries in my smoke detectors must be dead. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Tune in next week for something, I don't know. We'll try and not burn the house down next week. You know, another thing too is, I really wasn't drunk making this. Maybe that was the issue. This is still my first beer. Old Milwaukee, still not my sponsor. Shout out to my friend Mark Reed for BFF Engravings. Check them out. And guys, enjoy the rest of your day. See ya.